Today we take a look at BMX Airmaster for the Atari 2600. Released in 1989, this game was initially published by TNT Games. Yet Atari would scoop up the rights to this game and would publish their own red box version of the game, which is actually a lot more rare than the original release, despite both being the same exact game. Yeah, wrap your head around that one. So the gameplay is essentially you controlling the bike by rocking the analog back and forth and pressing the button to perform various tricks in order to rack up points. While in the air, up and down turns your bike horizontally, and left and right flips your bike vertically. Yeah, that certainly wouldn't make me dizzy or sick. Holding the button while in air lets you do poses, and it sorta helps steer your bike. When you steer your bike forward, you could sometimes bounce off the pipe, which not only bounces you back up in the air, it also helps you rack up some points, even though it's trickier to pull off than it looks. There are 3 events that you compete in: a half pipe, a quarter pipe, and a lead pipe. I'm just kidding, it's ramps. In the practice modes, you can select which event you want to practice at, whereas the arcade modes, you have to compete through each event in a set order. After you compete through each event, you keep playing as the game loops, yet the difficulty increases. In this game, there are 2 difficulty modes: Standard, which is your normal difficulty, and Advanced, which is a harder difficulty where you have to hit the ramp and pipe at more precise angles as you're going down, as well as making it much more difficult to gravitate and pedal like you normally would. The game also has a 2-player mode where you compete against the second player to see who can rank up the most points. So your typical versus affair, which may or may not make you lose friendships along the way. The sound and music is as basic as it gets for an Atari 2600 game, and honestly it's not something really worth complaining about. It would be like complaining about an old jukebox for not being able to play MP3 files. The controls aren't that bad in this game. In fact, it actually controls just as good as you'd expect it to. Yet it can be a pain in the ass sometimes, especially on the half pipe where it's a lot harder to get your bike to go up the pipe like you want it to. Even when I rock back and forth on the analog and press the button to pedal, I sometimes fail at it. Yet most of the time I'm able to pull it off, so I guess it's a bug or something? Yet the fucked up part about this game is when you mess up or fail to land the right way. You know how most people would break a bone if they messed up on a trick? Not this guy. Instead, he melts into a puddle. Like, damn, that's brutal as fuck. Like, seriously, him and the bike just melt together as if the bike is part of his body or something. Or maybe he's a T-1000! I guess that's what doing all this shit will do to a person. And lots of drugs. But nevertheless, BMX Airmaster for the Atari 2600 is as fun as it looks. Sure, the graphics and everything about the game may be simple, but for a late Atari 2600 game, I think it still holds up really well, despite at the time most people were playing the Nintendo Entertainment System. Yet, if you're an avid Atari collector such as myself, then you owe it to yourself to own this game. As I said at the start of the review, the Redbox version published by Atari is a lot more expensive and rare. I've seen prices for this game go up for $200 or more, so if you don't want to pay more, then I'd just stick with the TNT Games release, which is less expensive and more common. But nevertheless, let me know what you guys think about this game in the comments section, and let me know if you want to see more game reviews like this in the future. Also, be sure to subscribe to this channel, like this video, as well as share this video wherever you can. Also, don't forget to click that bell icon to be notified when my next video goes up. Anyways, this has been PC, signing off. I'll see you guys in the next review.